Is Aaron Jones a top 10 running back? Yes, you stupid mother... What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Lombardi Time Brews, where we're diving into the topic of the day. Yeah, Jeremy Fowler from ESPN, he posted, he's working through a series as someone from ESPN does every single year. They poll players, execs, coaches, scouts to figure out the top 10 at every single position in the NFL. And today, just this morning on July 14th, 2023, they released the top 10 running backs in the NFL. And you know who the NFL in its collective wisdom decided wasn't a top 10 running back in the NFL? Yeah, Green Bay's very, very own Aaron Showtime Jones. He's in the honorable mention category, and A.J. Dillon also got some votes. But look, this is ridiculous. This is absurd. Aaron Jones is a top 10 running back in the NFL. Don't believe me? All right, fine. Let's dive into the numbers. But first, let's take a look at who the NFL decided is a top 10 running back. First of all, starting off, number 1, Browns, Nick Chubb. All right, number 2, 49ers, Christian McCaffrey. All right, I see your point. Number 3, Raiders, Josh Jacobs. Sure, led the NFL last year. All right. Number 4, Giants, Saquon Barkley. Number 5, Titans, Derrick Henry. Number 6, Colts, Jonathan Taylor. Number 7, Saints, Alvin Kamara. Really? Number 8, free agent in mid-July, Dalvin Cook. Number 9, Cowboys, Tony Pollard. Number 10, Chargers, Austin Eckler. So let's take a look at some stats, shall we? Let's decide if Aaron Jones should be part of the top 10 or not. First of all, total rushing yards since 2020. Aaron Jones is 6th in the NFL with 3,024 yards. Oh, but that's too old for you. You don't want to go back 3 years? Well, we based it on 3 years because, like everyone says, it takes 3 years to develop in the NFL, right? Okay, fine, but let's not go back that far. Let's just look at last year. Aaron Jones was 9th in the NFL last year with 1,121 yards. That certainly sounds top 10 to me, doesn't it? But okay, even then, being a running back is a lot more than just the total rushing yards, right? Okay, fine. Let's go back to 2020 again. Total yardage, total rushing and receiving yards since 2020. Aaron Jones is 7th with 4,184 yards. Oh, but again, that's too many stats for you. Let's just take a look at last year, where Aaron Jones was 7th with 1,516 combined rushing and receiving yards. Again, sounds rather top 10, does it not? Yeah, but those are all cumulative stats, you say. Those aren't the advanced metrics that the nerds love to live for. Okay, fine. Let's go to PFF. Let's take a look at this graph right here that says yards over expected per carry and expected points added per carry. Aaron Jones seems to do... Oh, where is he? Oh, he's right next to Nick Chubb up in that upper right-hand quadrant, isn't he? Well, that seems awfully impressive. Or, you don't like that, let's just go with PFF's grades. Maybe you're a PFF believer. Let's just look at their cumulative grades. In 2022, just last year, he was 6th in total offense for running backs across the NFL, 2nd in rushing grading, tied with Nick Chubb. In 2021, he was 5th in total offense, 4th in rushing. 2020, a little bit of a down year for him, 8th in total offense, 10th in rushing. You know, otherwise saying top 10. Let's take a look, though, because Aaron Jones, he's supposed to be an elusive back, right? He's the lightning to the thunder. He's the salt to the pepper. Well, in 2022, he was ranked 8th among all running backs in elusivity rating by PFF. In 2021, again, 8th. 2020, he was ranked 4th. But, okay, let's look at power, because Aaron Jones is supposed to be this little guy. He's supposed to be elusive, right? What about the power? How powerful is he? Well, he finished 10th in yards after contact per attempt at 3.2 last year, which just happened to be ahead of Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, and Alvin Kamara, who all found themselves above Aaron Jones on the list. Or even, how about we look at missed tackles forced from a run, right? Well, Jones finished 7th there. Those seem like power metrics. Am I wrong? Nah, they seem like power metrics. But a lot of that stuff, that can be misinterpreted, right? PFF grades, that PFF doesn't know what they're doing. That's hogwash, okay? Missed tackles, that can be calculated a bunch of different ways. All right, so let's just look on a per carry basis, shall we? Yards per carry since 2020, Aaron Jones, with a minimum of 40 games. Let's throw in that contingency. With a minimum of 40 games, Jones is tied for second with 5.2 yards per carry. Again, too old, fine. Let's just look at last year when it came to 2022. With a minimum of 100 rushing attempts, Jones was second last year, behind only Chicago's Khalil Herbert, Of course, he also had 83 more carries than Khalil Herbert, too. Okay, fine. Let's factor in everybody. The guys who didn't play much, right? Guys who only played 5 games, guys who had limited numbers of carries. Fine. Jones still finished 7th at 5.3 yards per carry. 7th amongst all running backs in the NFL, whether you had, only a few carries or many. Bah humbug. It's not good enough. That's not good enough. Aaron Jones still isn't top 10. Okay, fine. How about we look at yards per carry all time? Assuming 750 rushing attempts, yards per carry all time. Well, Aaron Jones is tied for 4th at 5.1 over his entire career from 2017 to current. Well, okay, fine. But he doesn't carry enough. He splits time with A.J. Dillon. And even before that, he split time with Jamal Williams. He just doesn't carry enough. Well, since 2020... he's 10th in the NFL in total carries, 11th in the NFL in total touches. Top 10, yeah, at least for carries. And that's ahead of Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, and Tony Pollard, who all made the list. Well, see, he doesn't get enough touches. Well, in 2022, he had the 13th most touches in the league, again, ahead of Tony Pollard, who ranked 8th in this wonderful listing. Okay, fine. You've proven that he touches the ball enough to at least qualify. But the guy doesn't get any touchdowns. He had, 2 rushing touchdowns last year? He doesn't run the ball enough. Or he doesn't get touchdowns enough when he does run. Well, since 2020, he's 11th in NFL running backs with total touchdowns. And frankly, if we're going to give Alvin Kamara credit for past performance, like obviously is the case here since he found himself in the top 10, I think a dude who ran for 16 touchdowns in one season alone back just a few years ago kind of deserves a little bit of past credit, don't you think? And not to mention the fact that touchdowns happens to be one of the most random stats in football. Let's not forget that Robert Tonyan himself had an 11 touchdown season just a couple years ago. Not to mention the fact that it's rarely dictated by the running back himself. And to say that Aaron Jones isn't a quality goal line back, yeah, that's not exactly proof in the pudding either. All right, fine. It's the fumbles. I've heard that from Packer fans even. That the man fumbles too gosh darn much. All right. Well, frankly, in this 1 through 10 ranking, fumbles can't be that important considering that Derrick Henry had the most in the NFL last year at 6. And yeah, Aaron Jones did finish 2nd and 5th with 5. All right, fine. I'll give that one to you. But let's just look back a couple years, shall we? In 2021, he had 2. A whopping 2 fumbles, which happens to be better than Austin Eckler, Dalvin Cook, and Jonathan Taylor. Okay, let's go before that. In 2020, he also had 2. Better than, again, Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry. So there you have it. No matter which way you slice it, Aaron Jones in 2023 is a top 10 running back in the NFL. Now understand this. I didn't put all this together. I'm not this excited about this just to say, well, they kind of had Jones at like 11th to 13th and he should be like 9th or 10th. No. The greater point here is that Aaron Jones, in both a local and national scape, has been underappreciated and disrespected now for years. The guy does not have enough career accolades for where he stands in the NFL, and it's time that that ship starts being reversed. It's time that Aaron Jones starts getting the flowers that he deserves for his place amongst the NFL's best. I understand the critiques, the fumbles. All right, fine, we talked about that. I understand that you don't routinely see him on NFL.com's or ESPN's or wherever's highlight reels, making 85-yard dash runs. No. What Aaron Jones does, and arguably does better than darn near anyone in the NFL, is he does his job. And he does it well. Very, very well. And it's time that that starts getting the respect that it deserves. The man runs the ball well. He cuts better than darn near anyone. He also can catch the ball better than darn near anyone. And if you want him to score, he's shown that he certainly can, even if the game plan, the coach, the quarterback, the whatever, doesn't want to give him the ball on the one, as he so rightly deserves. It's time for the Aaron Jones disrespect, the slander, to stop. Aaron Jones is a top 10 running back in the NFL. Thanks for hearing me out today. Next week, I'll be back talking about Green Bay Packers, a training camp primer. I'm going to be going through every single player on the 90-man roster, offering a tidbit, factoid, nugget, stat, whatever you want to call it, about every single one, organized all by jersey number, so that you have a little bit of tidbit about every single guy heading into training camp, finally, the following week. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and as always, go Pack Go.